The evening seemed like any other in the fast-paced world of late-night television. Inside a lively studio in Burbank, California, a crowd laughed along as a popular host, famous for his sharp political humor and unfiltered commentary, entertained them with his usual flair. But then, in an unexpected moment, he turned his comedic focus toward someone who was rarely in the public eye. Barron Trump, the youngest son of the then-President and First Lady, Melania Trump. The joke was brief but pointed, clearly aimed at the teenager. While some audience members chuckled awkwardly, others shifted uncomfortably in their seats, unsure how to respond. This wasn't a harmless, light-hearted jab. It was a comment that struck a deeper chord. For many, it crossed an unspoken boundary, targeting a child who had remained out of the public sphere despite his family's prominence. As the night unfolded, the joke reverberated far beyond the studio walls. Within hours, clips of the moment circulated widely on social media. Platforms like Twitter and Instagram erupted with outrage and debates, catapulting hashtags like #BarronTrump into the trending lists. Memes, opinion pieces, and reaction videos flooded timelines as people weighed in. Some slammed the joke as tasteless, pointing out the unfairness of targeting a teenager who had no role in the political controversies surrounding his family. Others defended the host, arguing that satire often pushes boundaries and that public figures, regardless of age, are fair game. The incident quickly evolved from a single comment to a broader cultural debate about humor, ethics, and the responsibilities of public figures. In Palm Beach, Florida, Melania Trump watched the viral clip with growing anger and disbelief. As a mother, she had always been fiercely protective of her son, working tirelessly to keep him shielded from the relentless scrutiny that came with being part of the first family. To her, this wasn't just an attack on Barron. It was an affront to her role as his protector. Determined to act, Melania began drafting a public response. Her first move was to release a statement through her team. Measured but firm, it denounced the host's comments as inappropriate, damaging, and a breach of basic decency. While the statement resonated with many, it wasn't enough to quell the controversy. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, Melania made a bold decision. She would take legal action. Turning to a high-profile defamation attorney known for her no-nonsense approach, Melania initiated a lawsuit against both the host and the network. The legal claim centered on defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress, framing the incident as not merely a bad joke, but an attack on Barron's privacy and dignity. The lawsuit became an instant media phenomenon, dominating headlines and talk shows across the country. Public opinion was deeply divided. Many parents and Trump family supporters praised Melania's actions, applauding her courage and her refusal to let the insult go unchecked. "She's standing up for her son," one viral tweet read. "That's what every parent should do." On the other side, critics accused her of overreacting, with some arguing that the lawsuit was a calculated move to regain relevance. Comedians and free speech advocates rallied around the host, warning that the case could set a dangerous precedent for creative expression. "Where do we draw the line?" one prominent host asked during a heated panel discussion. "If you can't joke about public figures, even their families, what's left for satire?" As the case moved toward trial, the stakes grew higher. Behind the scenes, the late-night host faced mounting pressure. Sponsors began withdrawing from his show, concerned about the negative publicity. Ratings dipped, and even his most loyal fans started to question his judgment. The once confident figure appeared more subdued, his monologues tinged with a defensive bitterness that hadn't been there before. When the trial began in Los Angeles Superior Court, it became the kind of high-profile spectacle that the media couldn't resist. Paparazzi swarmed the courthouse, capturing every arrival and departure. Inside, the tension was palpable. The prosecution, representing Melania Trump, opened with a powerful argument. They played the clip of the joke, letting the audio echo through the silent courtroom. Witnesses testified about the impact of the comment, including Barron's former teachers, who described how the media scrutiny had affected his schooling and well-being. "This is not about silencing comedy," Melania's lawyer argued. "It's about protecting a child's right to privacy, dignity, and a life free from ridicule." The defense leaned heavily on the First Amendment, portraying the host as a boundary-pushing artist and warning against the chilling effect the lawsuit could have on comedy. The host himself took the stand, delivering an impassioned testimony about his career and the importance of satire in challenging power structures. The trial took a shocking turn when a surprise witness, a former network employee, testified about the show's behind-the-scenes culture. He revealed that the joke about Barron had been carefully planned and approved by network executives, not an off-the-cuff remark as previously claimed. Emails and internal communications presented in court showed that the joke was crafted specifically to provoke outrage and drive ratings. The revelation shifted the focus of the trial, casting the network as complicit in prioritizing controversy over ethics. Ultimately, the jury ruled in favor of Melania. The host was found liable for defamation, and the network was ordered to pay significant damages. In the ruling, the judge emphasized that the verdict was not an attack on free speech, but a recognition that humor should not come at the expense of a child's dignity. The case left a lasting legacy. It sparked widespread debates about the boundaries of comedy, the ethics of targeting public figures, and the responsibilities of media platforms. Networks implemented stricter oversight, and comedians began reevaluating their material. For parents, the trial was a wake-up call about the importance of standing up for their children in an increasingly public and often unforgiving digital age. In her victory statement, Melania expressed hope that the case would remind society of the power of words and the importance of empathy. While free speech is a right, she said, respect and compassion are responsibilities we all share. The trial became more than a legal battle. It was a cultural reckoning, challenging society to reflect on how we balance humor, free speech, and humanity in an age where every word can have far-reaching consequences.